For The Rock, the final boss, I think his in-ring career might be over. I don't know if you've seen any of the videos that have been circulating around recently, but the final boss, The Rock, Dwayne Johnson, the man, the myth, the legend himself, he lost a whole lot of muscle and a whole lot of weight. So I'm like, dude, this is crazy. And I'm just speculating and thinking about what this might mean. There's a whole lot of reports saying that, it was nothing serious. Dwayne The Rock Johnson lost all that weight, all that muscle because, he wanted to take his acting career more seriously. He felt like he was stuck in a box, just because of his physique. He's just only playing one role and he's just been playing one role his entire career. Now he's losing all this weight so he could be more versatile. He could play different roles and stuff like that. That's what the official people are saying. But, it could be that. It could also be something else, in my opinion. But like, that's what they were officially saying. I was reading articles and stuff like that, and they were saying, Dwayne The Rock Johnson felt like he was trapped in a box. He's been playing the same jungle role, saving people, fighting against gorillas, Jumanji, Rampage, stuff like that. It's kind of the same role, and he wanted to branch out, be more diverse, and play more different roles, serious roles, and stuff like that. So that was one of the speculations, and that was one of the things that was said. But also, it's being said around the internet a lot, if you've seen it, that, Dwayne Johnson is now off the juice. If you know what that means, you know what that means. Dwayne Johnson is off the workout juice. He's no longer taking, supplements, steroids, whatever. They're saying, he's off it. So I'm like, dude, it's crazy. And I'm like, what does this mean WWE wise? Because like I said, if you haven't seen any of the videos, I'll probably throw up some videos and pictures. Like Dwayne Johnson, The Rock, the final boss, dude, he looks so small now compared to how he used to look. Like his physique has always been crazy, been insane. He's been jacked, ripped, but not anymore. Just like Batista had a huge change in his physique, going from shredded to like skinny and stuff like that. The same thing happened to Dwayne The Rock Johnson. And I'm thinking WWE wise, I think that might be it for him. I don't think he's showing up to have any matches, anything crazy. Maybe to talk and stuff like that, maybe to cut a promo here and there, but no matches, nothing crazy if anybody's speculating for it. Because I'm like, dude, I don't see The Rock showing up in his state, in this state currently, showing up to fight anyone. He doesn't look as big or as menacing as he used to be. Like, all aura basically gone, dude. Looking at this new version of The Rock, even I feel like I could beat him in a fight at this point. So like, and that should say a lot, dude. But like, I'm telling you, I don't see him showing up in WWE to face off against anyone, stare down anyone with this physique, with this persona. The thing about The Rock is that he could show up, look anybody down. He looks scary, he looks menacing, he looks believable. But with how he's looking now, dude, I don't know. He looks all skinny, all small, and I feel like, this is just put a nail in the coffin that, the wrestling career is officially done. There's no more of that. The Rock is definitely not showing up like this, looking like this to fight anyone, dude. I feel like that match he had, with Roman Reigns, The Rock versus, Cody Rhodes and whoever it was, And I feel like, that one final match where The Rock had, him and Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes and stuff like that, I feel like, that was probably it. That was it, because, dude, the way Rock is looking, dude, there's no way he's showing up to wrestle, to face off against anyone looking like that, man. And I don't see him going back to get as shredded as he once was, because, The Rock, dude, he's getting up there in age. And, like, I guess what it is, besides the whole movie stuff, like, getting up there in age, it's not easy to manage that physique, to manage, everything like that. Your heart can't take it, your body can't take it, and you have to think about yourself in the long run, the longevity of things, and like, man, health is wealth and everything, dude. Wealth is nothing without health. Health is wealth. You have to be healthy in order to enjoy your wealth. You have to be healthy in order to enjoy life. You have to be healthy in order to enjoy everything. Health is wealth, so like in the long run, I feel like it wasn't healthy for The Rock to stay on the juice or whatever he was on, because none of that was natural. Don't get it wrong, man. This man can't be 50 something, pushing 60 at this point to still be this shredded, to still be at this peak. Naturally, it wasn't that, dude. But anyhow, though, overall, dude, it's not healthy to be that big. It's a whole strain on your body, on your brain, on your heart and everything. And I feel like he made this decision mainly probably for his movie career and stuff like that, but also a big part for his health, because as you get up there in age, it gets less manageable. It gets harder to manage. It becomes a lot more of a hassle, and if you even listen to Batista talking about his transformation, he literally said these exact words. He said that he did it, for his movie role requirements, but also because of his health concerns. concerns and personal preferences, Batista stated that he was concerned about his health and his previous weight, and he wanted to be leaner, he wanted to be more fit. It became a hassle being this big, being this buff, trying to carry around all this weight. It becomes a hassle on your heart, a hassle on your body, a hassle on your mental and stuff like that. He said it wasn't easy. And as you do get up there in age, dude, it gets a lot harder to manage, and it's like, I'm not talking like naturally, maybe naturally it's a lot easier. I don't know about that, but definitely being on the juice and stuff like that. I don't know if Batista was, he probably wasn't. That's none of my concern, but definitely Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, dude, no way that was natural. He might have been too, he might have not been, but doing it not natural, not natty, that can't be healthy for you, man. Sooner or later, it's gonna catch up. It's gonna cause a lot of health issues, and I'm happy that Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson is making this change this early. Looking out for himself. Hopefully this means he could be around longer or whatever it is. Hopefully that means he could be around longer to entertain the fans, entertain the people if he chooses to. And I'm happy he's making this change. Honestly, it's a positive thing. Yes, he's a little bit smaller now, a lot smaller now. Yes, maybe his WWE career might be over, and maybe he might be focusing solely on movies, maybe not. But I'm happy that the man himself, is healthy. He's happy. He looks content with it. So there's really nothing bad I can say about it. I mean, it's a positive thing for him. Like the older you get, the more you have to look out for your health, the more you have to look out for yourself. And I think that's exactly what he's doing. I think at some point he realized that this weight, this muscle, all this, the juice stuff like that, it wasn't healthy, it wasn't manageable, and it was going to catch up to him sooner or later. And I'm glad that he probably did something about it. I hope he didn't have a huge health scare that pushed him to do this drastic change. I hope it was something that he just came to terms with, and he did it on his own accord. I hope it's not something that was forced on him because he had, like, I don't know, some heart issue, some hospital thing, some medical thing. I hope it was a decision he came to on his own, and he's just like, I've had enough of this. I've done this for long enough, and it's time to be natural, or like, it's time to think about myself. It's time to, look out for my health, for my future, for my family and stuff like that. I hope that's what it was, and I hope it wasn't like a health scare that he had to go to hospital, see doctors and medical people, and they're like, dude, this isn't healthy. You got to get off this juice. You got to get off this stuff. It's not good for you. I hope it wasn't that at all. And I hope this was just a personal decision. But like I said, I just wanted to bring out the update and talk about, the drastic change that, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, he's no longer shredded, no longer huge, no longer larger than life. He doesn't look as, chiseled as he used to. So I think that, his WWE career might, be over. I don't know if we'll ever see another Rock match ever again, and I don't think The Rock is ever going to get back to that size, because if he does try, that's going to be detrimental, dude, because he's not going to get back there natural, dude. I don't care what you think you could eat, what you could drink, food wise, drink wise, energy juice wise, protein, broccoli, meat, white rice, dude, like, you're not getting back there naturally, so I feel like The Rock's wrestling career is over, and I think this is the nail on the coffin, just showing, he's done with all of it. No more final boss, no more of that. So, dude, it's crazy. But I saw the videos going around, and I was like, man, there's no way this is him. But like, yeah, that's The Rock now. He's small, he's skinny, he's like healthier, I guess. It's crazy to say that he went from shredded to this and he's healthier. Like, isn't that crazy? Like, you think you'd be healthier shredded, but when you're shredded like that and it's not natural, that's definitely not healthier. Your body's trying to regulate all the protein, all the juice you're on, all the other stuff, the side effects and everything. And like, him being off it now, I'm sure he's gonna feel a huge burst of energy. He's gonna feel lighter. He's gonna feel happier. And this is definitely going to be a positive thing for him, and I'm happy for him. And look at Batista now. If you listen to any of his interviews, he talks about how, how much happier he is now, how much better it is, how much easier it is to manage his life. He feels healthier and stuff like that. He was happy with him being shredded and stuff like that, but got to a point where it wasn't manageable anymore. It wasn't easy anymore, and like, that's the fact of life. Sometimes you got to put your health first, you got to put your happiness first. He told you he wasn't happy. And a lot of his movie roles, he felt too shredded, too bloated and stuff like that. Now, he's skinny now, and the same thing happened to The Rock, So I guess it's done. No more final boss, no more The Rock. Maybe he'll show up to cut a promo, but definitely not fight, dude. Like, this man, he looks different. Even his face looks skinnier. I'm like, Jesus, man. But yeah, I just wanted to bring this information to you, talk about it a little bit, and just say to those out there who are working out, who are being active, who are actively in the fitness world, take care of yourself. If you do want to get shredded, please, please, please do your best to do it naturally, so you don't have to worry about your heart issues too much. Don't have to worry about heart issues, mental issues, stuff like that. Take care of yourself. Do it natural, dude, because it's so much more rewarding if you do it natural, and you won't have to have a drastic change like this, maybe, where you just lose all the weight. You're like, and people are like, I knew it. It was definitely the juice, because looking at The Rock now, dude, there's no debate. There's no question about it. But anyhow, like I said, if you're in the fitness world, take care of yourself, do it naturally. Please, please, please do it naturally. Put your health first. Health is wealth. Like, you need to be healthy to enjoy your wealth. Health is wealth. Health is everything. Mental, physical, emotional, all that is everything. Put it first. Take care of yourself. And that's all I want to say, basically. If you're being fit, be fit, be active, but do it naturally, so you don't have to worry about this. And yeah, anyhow, like I said, The Rock, he's smaller now, he's skinnier now. So I hope, like I said, it wasn't a health scare that he had, that he did this decision on by himself, on his own accords. He just decided by himself, and that was that. I hope it wasn't a health scare, and I hope he just did it for the movies, so he could play different roles. I hope that was just it. Fingers crossed. I'm wishing for the best for him. But anyhow, that's that. That's The Rock now, man. That's The Rock now. Anyhow, whatever the situation is, whatever happened, whatever it was, much love and support out to The Rock and his family and stuff like that. But yeah, anyhow, like I said, all you out there, whether you're working out, whether you're in the fitness world, whether or not, maybe you're just staying home, maybe you're just having fun, maybe you're just enjoying life. Anyhow, take care of yourself, stay safe, stay happy, put yourself first, put your mental health first, your physical health first, your emotional health first, look after yourself, take care of yourself, treat your body right, and they'll treat you right too. Don't put others before yourself. Take care of yourself, be happy, be true, be you, and all that good stuff. Just take care of yourself, please and thank you, because like I said, health is wealth. Everything you do at some point will have an outcome, whether positive or negative. You take care of yourself, it'll take care of you. So, like, if you don't take care of yourself, if you don't take care of your body, it won't take care of you. There's always an outcome to every choice you make, so make the right ones. Yeah, just put yourself first, be happy, and don't be scared to ask for help, to talk to someone, whatever it might be. Jesus, I don't even know what this video is turning into at this point, but anyhow, that's the video. I just wanted to talk about The Rock, and we talked about The Rock, and that's it. Okay, anyhow. Thank you for showing up, thank you for hearing me out, and thank you for being here. Like, comment, and subscribe if you want to. Like, comment, subscribe if you'd like to, and like, comment, and subscribe if you choose to. As always, it's been a pleasure, and I'm out.